Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode number 317, with me, George, and this week joined by RGT. Let's save him for posterity. That was early door slip up, wasn't it? Let crushed. Let's save him for posterity to my oh my good God. Why would you keep that thing? RGT, how's it going?
I'm very well, thank you. I was
I don't
wondering where you were going with that.
I don't think I really care how you feel. Gemini, YouTube AI, how are you feeling? Good. You're looking good. You're making all the right moves. Let me tell you that we've got some PlayStation preservation news coming up. Oh, don't panic. Don't you dare panic. Because then we're also asking whether Bungie was worth the 750 million for PlayStation. And I think we know the answer to that. And then we're going to slide into some news about the Switch, possibly, but possibly not, because of Nintendo's greed, not getting the best-selling console of all time marker. We'll dig into that and a lot more once I've asked RGT, what the bloody hell have you been playing this week?
Not much, but a couple of interesting things. I actually played two demos, and one demo I've played on two different systems to see what the difference would be, which is quite surprising results, really. But anyway, first up, Pragmata.
Mm. Do I need to go and download this immediately? And if so, on what device?
Well, I had a bit of a chat with Carlos on Discord about this because he's played it as well. And I said to him, this has Remember Me DNA all over it. If you've
Mm.
played Remember Me, which we've done recently on our Gen 7 playthrough on the Discord, um,
In
if you
terms of
don't,
the combat, you mean?
in terms of the feel of the game, the sci-fi, the way you go to room to clear it, to move on, almost this new way of sort of tech way of beating your enemies. It's very Remember Me. Definitely delivered better. Obviously, Remember Me could be a bit clunky for the ideas that was pushing at the time. Um, but if you haven't played, Remember Me was a Generation 7 game from Capcom, um, and also Don't Nod over on PS3 and 360, I believe.
It is.
And it was an interesting concept of a game, and obviously they were going to do a second one. They didn't. They went on and done Life is Strange and blah blah blah, and the rest is history. But this is Pragmata is. I don't know whether the demo is just a contained demo to show you the game rather than the actual story. So I think you're just in this contained world to give you a bit of hint of the story, how the combat works, mechanics, etc. And you're basically this guy, and you've got this young girl who's an AI sort of robot. Um, and when you go into battle, she has this little platform. She stands on your back, and when you go into battle, when the enemies come at you, you can fire at them, but it would take a lot of ammo to even try and dent these. So she then goes to hack the enemies, and you have a grid system that comes up and it slows down the time. This grid system comes up, and you use your buttons, your triangle, circle, cross, and square to do up, down, left, and right. And you quickly work your way through the system to get to the green panel to hack them. And as you go along, you can get extra buffs to make it even more powerful. So you go, make your way around this grid, get to green, and boof, that hits them, take a load of energy off, and then that weakens them, and then you can shoot them, then you can destroy them.
What
I
happens if
found
you
it,
don't get the hack right?
you have to quickly move away and do another hack again, but it happens quite normally simultaneously. You'll go into another hack again. Once you get the flow of it, I found it quite easy, but really good fun. It was very satisfying. you'd get this big one come up, and you go, oh god, you get this hack. You go, did he? Oh, if I quickly hit that, there's like a yellow box that will take a bit more life off. Ding 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 ding. Work all the way around. Quickly get the green. Boof. And then because you can then select your weapon with your D-pad, so you can have like a shotgun that takes a lot of power off. Hit the weak point. And then you get other weapons like one puts like a static ball you fire out, and it freezes the enemy there. So if you hack them, then put the ball out, hold them there, then you could just put loads of shots into the weak point. Really interesting, different ways of doing it. I found it very good. I found it played really well, looks nice, different story. They didn't let on too much at the moment, but from what I can make out, you're on the moon, and I think it's a settlement on the moon, and all these robots have gone rogue, and you're trying to fight your way to get out. And I'm supposing that's what the story is. I'm definitely going to purchase the game because I really enjoyed this. This was really good.
Is this the
But
one you played on two systems?
I played this originally on Switch 2.
Hmm.
They had the demo come up. I played for a demo. It took me about 20 minutes. But once, because I knew it already, I thought, right, I'm going to jump into the um, PS5 version, which then I blitzed through and done it in like 11 minutes. And I wanted to compare what they looked like, how they played. So Switch 2 first, I thought impressive for a Switch 2. I mean, looks really good, lovely graphics, seemed pretty smooth. I mean, I was thinking it was 60 frames per second. I'm not 100% sure, but it felt very smooth. It didn't feel clunky. And like I say, I learned the game more on that one. So it took me 25 minutes. I was at 11 minutes on the PS5 version. Jumped into PS5 version. There's not a lot of difference between the two. They are very close.
Mm.
Even light and even graphically, there's not a lot in it at all. There is not a lot in it at all. If you only own a Switch 2, you are not missing out one bit by not playing a PS5 version.
Mm.
This it almost seemed like it was a like for like port.
Wow.
I'm sure if Digital Foundry got hold of it, they
Oh,
could.
mate, I think they have, and I don't think obviously it's not, but
Yeah,
look, I'll take your layman's look at it.
if
It's
you
good
if
enough
you
for you. It's good enough for me.
if I mean maybe there's reflections are maybe a little bit better, maybe the lighting's a little bit better. But as for playing, I mean, you have the added benefit of your haptics and your
Mm.
adaptive triggers on your PS5, which is I know a lot of people don't speak about, but that's always an added plus for me. You really, that vibration, I mean, you really feel part of the game. Um, but Switch 2 Pro controller is still a very good controller. It's still is very good at that. But yeah, it's not a lot of difference. The only thing is, when I looked up the game, it was like £10 more on a Switch 2 than it is on a PS5, which I still find mad. Um,
Got to pay for
yeah,
that special little tech,
yeah, exactly.
RGT.
But
You know.
yeah, as far as differences between the two, there's not a lot in it. You'd be fine with both, and I think it's going to be a good game. Looking forward to playing it. Like I say, I played through the demo twice and was willing to do a third run because I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the combat. I thought it was very unique, but a lot easier to learn and adapt to than Remember Me, which felt overly clunky to do it. This feels
Mm.
very swift, bang, 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 done, shoot. You get this rhythm going. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and quite well acted as well. Some cute bits with the little girl as well. So yeah, good, all good. Um, then second game I played.
Moving on to the second game. Yes. May I just have a few indulgences to ask you
Oh,
about
sorry, yes, you certainly can.
this game
Mm.
because I'm looking for something. And I've looked at this and been not sure, but
I think you'd enjoy this. Definitely played a demo. I think you'd like a bit of this.
I don't
This
do demos. I'm going all in with conviction or nothing.
fine, buy it.
Get it on the Pro.
That's one thing where obviously I can't compare. Where I did think with the pros boost, this being that space world,
Is a
metallic
PSSR
and
2
lighting,
game as well, apparently.
I think this would look quite special on a pro. I really do.
Okay.
No disrespect to the standard PS5 or Switch 2, but I think if you've got a pro, that's probably going to sing on there. I think. Sorry, yeah, carry on.
Um, okay, I'll get it on there. I think that was it, really. I'm
Mm,
just telling you, I think I'm going to get it. I'm looking
yeah,
for something. I've got some good bits on the go at the moment, which we'll get into. But this second game, you've intrigued me because I do believe it's the outdoor game where you build and live in a camper van, RGT. Is that
Yeah, this
correct?
is Outbound. Yeah, a demo cropped up on Steam, so I downloaded it on my handheld PC. Um, and I thought, as soon as I started playing it, I kept thinking, what does this remind me of? What does this remind me of? I suddenly thought Firewatch.
Mm. In what way? Because to
Not
me, it
narrative,
looks like a buildy game.
not not by narrative. It's graphically Firewatch
I
that
see. Yeah.
and outdoorsy. It almost feels like a evolution of Firewatch. Um, it's got that DNA in it, but basically you start off in this camper van on the demo, and you have to get to a fire lookout tower. You've got your map, and everything is very easy to do. Everything is very simple. It's just away you go, find a campsite, and just explore. And I always remember, what was the car when you played where you found it overly complicated? The one where it's in that sort of,
Pacific Drive.
yes, yeah.
I
And I
wanted
was,
to love that game, dude,
yes,
but
so did I.
the kind of knife in your back was a bit much.
Mm, yeah.
There's times where I just wanted to chill out and enjoy it, and I guess that's what Outbound's giving you.
Yeah, this is. I mean, sometimes you don't. You only go around a corner to another campsite, and the day cycle's quite quick. But you basically have your camper van. You can only pick the old school one in the demo, but I think there's three to you can get more of a modern sort of 4x4 one in the full game. And you have to make it to this fire watch tower. And en route, you can pull up in these little campsites. You
Hmm.
can pull your awning out the side. You can light the campfire.
Can you only stop in these little campsites?
I
So it's
think
like a road trip, and then after a while, you see a campsite, you pull in and set up your camp.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
but
do
some
that to like monitor? Is it got like survival mechanics? You have to keep your hunger topped up and all that sort of drivel.
you do, and you get tired, but it's not. It's very chilled. It's not aggressive. So
So it's not
you
like easy delivery code where I'm going to disappear down Tingle Tuna K hole.
no, no.
No,
So you
okay.
basically you can when you open up. This is the bit you'll love. This is a bit of you all over. When you open the back of the tailgate, you've got a workbench.
I've seen this in the trailer, but like
Yeah,
bizarrely, now this is where people think they know what kind of game I like. As soon as I saw that workbench, I was like, oh no. And then I saw him building on the roof, and I was like, oh no, no. I just want to get in my camper van, drive to the campsite, and sit and chill. I
you can
don't
do
want to
all that.
be.
You don't have to do all that.
But what's all that building on the roof? Like, how do you drive when you've built a massive hot tub, gazebo, and pink flamingo on your roof? Like,
I
what,
did.
how
I
do you
did.
come back from that?
I did get to that in the demo. I basically you find these as you explore little areas. There's hidden things to find and collect. You get there's things like how many campfires you light and you find. Then
Yeah.
you'll find berries, but there'll be these little radio towers, and if you climb and get to them or walk to them,
Mm-hmm.
you can download. That'll give you an option of three blueprints to download. So you can download,
Schematics, right.
yeah, and you download them, and then that will give you the option of building them in the back. So like the first thing I done, I had to build a recycler, but to build a recycler, I needed some units in my van. So I built two little kitchen units in my van next to my bed, and then I put my little recycler on. You can recycle stuff. Then you can like download schematics to like cook and make a cooker, and you can just build as you go. But
Where'd you
everything
get your food from? Is it just these berries you're eating, or do you have to
at
like
the
shoot
moment, I've
rabbits?
just found berries. But I think as you in the full game, I think there'll be more stuff you can get to cook to make meals to keep your energy up,
Hmm.
and then you can make things like a pickaxe, an axe to get through other areas where when you're walking around you'll see a big rock you can't get through there without a pickaxe. So you find different bits and then you can travel back. But it's so chilled. Do you know what the bit I really love? There is this section, and you don't like I say you only in real life it's like traveling like 50 yards and you found another campsite. You drive around the corner, there's another one. But I set up this little campsite. It was just off the road near these rocks. I pulled my awning out and I thought, oh, I can't cook yet. I ain't got the schematics. So I had some berries and then I felt pitter patter of rain on my awning. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to get in the van. So I got in my van And as I was in the van, the rain was just pitter pattering down on the roof as it was raining. That was night time, and my fire had then gone out because of the rain. And I just sat there near my bed, and I thought, "Oh, this is lovely, just sitting here
Do you
listening to
know
the
what?
rain."
A lot of these first person experience games like Outbound are like begging to be in VR. Imagine that experience in VR.
Oh, this would be superb in
And
VR.
everything about it, like from the create to the way your hands are on the screen to the way you interact with the things, it screams all these games like this. My Summer Drive, they all scream VR. If people have been brave enough to put these in VR, I think we'd be starting to see it take off
Well,
in
I
these
did wonder if
experience.
this was meant to have been a VR game originally because of you always find VR games, especially when they're it's not many that are overly complicated. I know like No Man's Sky is quite in depth, but
Yeah,
a lot of these games were similar to Outbound.
yeah,
The mechanics of them are quite basic because they're in VR and you're doing them by hand yourself.
yeah.
And I always thought this really feels like it was a VR game at some point. And whether
If
they
not,
did,
it should have been.
yeah, because this would have been odd because you're in first person view in your camper and you're driving as well and you're moving your head to look and look around. Oh, I'm going to take that road and you veer off. And yeah, it's good. Is if you want because I've been crying out, as you know, I've been trying all these different farm sim games and that lately.
Oh, I know.
I've been crying out for a proper little cozy chill game, and I think Outbound is scratching that itch. I was just laying back on the sofa with my PC, and that sort of work out in itself, but holding that up. But it was so chilled out, and yeah, it's another one I think I'm gonna get that. I don't know whether to get Steam version or PS5. I think I might get the PS5 version just for having it on the screen on the TV and sitting back on the couch
I
and
think
playing.
you're biting at the wrong stick. I think um, it needs to be done on the gaming PC, the handheld PC, the Lenovo, whatever you call it, only
Mm.
because you could take that on your own camping experience.
Well, the only other thing I was thinking was Switch 2, because then you've got it on the TV and you've got it
Is
portable.
it on Switch too?
I think it's going to be on Switch 2, yes. Believe so.
Get it there, then there.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
then you can have best of both worlds, can't you? We can take it when we go camping and we can, yeah, I could play camp and more camping.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And on that point, if I may, let me
Mm.
regale you with what I've been playing because last week I threatened I would download Flight Simulator. We'll come back to that. Been playing a little bit of farming sim. I've been checking out Cyberpunk with its new PS5 Pro update, and it does look gorgeous. I also promised I would have a look at Witcher 3 on the Switch and the PS5. Do you know what? It holds up. It does. It's no way close, but I even got a third party in to adjudicate. Do you know what? It's passable. Um, it does look good on PS5 though. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, bit more of that on the Switch. But the game I really want to talk about, and I want to labour this point, RGT, so you're going to have to indulge the hell out of
I bet I
this.
know what this is.
Last week I said I was going to get Flight Simulator because the VR had been included. I did exactly what I said I would do because I always do for you, viewer. I do it for you. And I got it. I downloaded it. Chunky install, fair enough. Uh, First of all, wasn't played it flat screen, wasn't that impressed with the graphics. A bit like, oh god, this looks like a dog mess. Just don't get me wrong, playing took great. Put the VR on, expected downgrade. Yeah, awful. It was passable. Getting the plane. Let me cut to the short of that story. You can go in and ramp all the settings up if you want to. I don't know if that's a PS5 normal option, but it's certainly an option to me on the Pro. I went on the VR and you could take everything from low up to medium and some of the settings up to high. When you play it on flat screen, you go into the settings, you can put particles up, put it all up.
Mm.
Soon
It's
as I
almost
went
like a
back into
PC thing, isn't it?
it
That is.
is. Soon as I went back into the game, the grass texture loaded up. Even Rachel was like, "Wow, look at this." I was like, "I know, this is improved, isn't it?" Put the VR headset on, different game again. What I can say is the Friday night I downloaded it, I didn't realize it was Move the VR Sense control compatible. So I was playing it in VR and on flat screen with a controller,
Yeah, I
having a great
forgot about
time,
those.
using all the short button links on the controller to do all the things, getting quite sexy. Anyway, took the headset off. I said to Rachel, it'd be really good because I can see all the dials, and when I look at them, it comes up and says, I really wish it supported the Sense controllers.
Mm.
So I Googled it. It does. How embarrassing. So I load it back up with the Sense controllers, and wow, let me tell you, I loaded up into a Cessna with the Sense controllers. Not that I really know that much about flying, but I know my way around the car and machines and bits and bobs. So I looked at the dashboard. I was like, right, all right, all the instructions have gone. Because on the joypad, you hold R1 and press up, and it goes through the starter mechanism. Here's me in VR. All right, a bit of fun. So, Teresa, we'll see if we can get this started. Up this red switch, poof, main battery on, poof. What next are we going to need? Fuel. Look down at the fuel direction lever, move that to the center. Yeah, turn the fuel pump on. What else are we going to need? Like master avionics there. All that's all turned on. Yeah, okay. So how do you start a plane? Looking around. Oh, it's a key. Reached out with the sense controller, turned to the ignition on, rotated it round. Couldn't get it started. Thought, oh, must be something else. I can't remember what it was, but I flicked up one of the switch. Okay, right,
I
right,
thought,
fine.
sorry to interrupt, I thought for a minute you were going to say you got Rachel a VR kit as well. You played two players and she bump started you down the runway.
No, it doesn't support anything like that, but it'd be amazing if it did, because the chance to take a guest in the back, because they have to watch the big screen, right? Because you have to be looking at the controls.
Mm,
And hey, let me tell you, is I've got it in like semi-casual mode, so it will bite you in the arse if you're not careful. But I can get a plane off the ground, up in the air, easy
that's
peasy.
awesome.
Flaps up and down, yeah, and you can see all the controls, and you mess about with them. Now I've had some success in the Cessna. My landings are a bit ropey, I have to admit. Took off dead nice. I've been going through, so you have to start off and get your pilot's license to start with, and that's pretty simple. Up, circuit, down, kind of everything was okay and manageable. Then you do a few jobs for people, and you're doing what I love about it is the level of detail. Like Farmerton's in here, perfect. Like parents-in-law came round, mother and father-in-law. I said, hey, have a look at this, Dave. Loaded it up. He said, bloody hell. We had one on PC as it was loading. We had one on PC, ages ago. You could get in a helicopter and fly it around. Here you go, Dave. As it loads, it pans around all these airports. So there, the graphics. Oh, bloody hell. One like that. And we load it up and fly over his house, and he's able to pick it out from the sky. It's like that level of detail's unreal. I was like, oh no, it's scary, isn't it? So go fly over Stays. I said, all right, what we'll do is we'll load up in an airport near it and we'll fly over it. Can you do that? So yeah, of course you can. And the weird thing is, if you're like a farmer who's just cut a strip of grass and you fly your Cessna off of it, and that's a registered place that you launch from, it's in the
No way.
game.
No way.
There's a strip of grass down the road from me that professes to be an airport, believe it or not, that planes like hobbyists take off from. It's in the game. So I take off from there for my sightseeing trips around the local area.
That's unbelievable.
And when you're low, obviously it uses kind of streamed in Bing map technology, which we know probably isn't the best. But when you're up a couple of thousand feet in the air, especially in VR, and you're looking out the window and you can see the clouds pass, and then between that they break, and you see like ground and fields and rivers and cars on the road as well. And it's like, "Ooh, this is bloody good." And you look up and you're flying into the sun. So in the Cessna, you can put the little sun visor down and it works. You can
No
open the
way.
window and it's like, wow, the sound of the engines coming in, and you can look out. All the wind noise, you close it and it's back to
So
quiet
is it like
again.
360 sound as well for your head?
Yes, yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. Don't forget that's one of PlayStation's USPs, that
Yeah.
3D surround sound, which does
Yeah.
work in VR, really gives you that feeling of. Now, don't get me wrong, I did feel a little bit at times in the VR experience like I was playing around in like a map app or something, It does have that feeling to it.
Mm.
But in terms of its slickness, I was thinking and then saw it I read someone mention this after, so I know it's not an original thought, but when I was playing it, the only thing that I could liken it to in terms of its scope and its interactivity and the ability to, oh, I'll put the headset on, I'll take the headset off, I'll load it up without the headset plugged in. While it's loaded up now, I think I'll plug the headset in and use it. And you can be rough as assholes in terms of how and when you put the
Mm.
implementation in. It's totally cool with it. In fact, it endorses it, if anything. Like you load it up flat screen, you plug your headset in at the bottom, it just says press L1, R1, L1 and triangle, boom, flips the headset mode, you put it on, you're straight in the game, RGT, and it's
That's
slick.
impressive. That
I've
last thing you want would have to come out,
Yeah,
turn off, plug in,
but
start
who would have thought that Microsoft delivered the killer app for the now dead
up.
PSVR 2
Yeah,
right
that's
on the day that I've got a tombstone chiseled out for it in a 6 foot hole dug at the top of my garden.
that's crazy, isn't it? That's you could tell one had the tech, one had the game. When they come together, you said you think, maybe you should do this more because things actually work quite well when you put your heads together.
Oh, dude, and I'll tell you what, the realism, like you get in the plane, you get it started up, you got to get on a radio to tower, you just press a
Oh
button
wow, jeez, I
and you
didn't realize
say,
you had to do
okay,
that.
I'm in holding position. Do I have permission to go to the second holding position before I enter the runway? Yep, you're clear. Proceed to the holding thing. So then you have to off brake, bring the revs up, bop, 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 use your rudder to steer yourself round to the position. Yeah, yeah, it's great. And then you have to hold there. One issue I've found is when
Ooh,
I've been coming in hot and heavy, I'm like that with the yoke, trying to get it in landed. When you finally get the sucker down on the ground, in one of the Cessnas, the handbrake lever's underneath the steering wheel. Now, in VR, that means I'm now taking my head right off of where I need to be looking to jam my head down under my legs in the passenger seat well so I can see the brake, so I can get the little dot on it, so I can press X to pull it on while not nosediving the plane into the deck. I tell you what, that'll make a man of you, especially when I come down. I come
coming in a bit
down,
hot.
I come in a bit hot, right? Bam, cut power. Oh, 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 oh God. Oh, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hang on, brake. Oof. Yeah, it's an experience. Flat screen or in VR, but VR takes it to another level. It kind of makes it a different game. It makes it feel a lot more high stakes. I tell you, when you're playing it flat screen, like yeah, sat in your pajamas playing it with a controller. When you're doing it in VR, you're sweating like a stuck pig.
Mm. And the
Terrified.
thing is as well. I mean, fair play to Microsoft because it was one of their killer apps on when did it come out? 3, 4 years ago.
This one released probably only last year, did it not?
Oh right, but the flight simulator for this gen came out a while ago, and
Yeah, during COVID they relaunched it.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. And then
this is
and
the
then
second iteration of that relaunch.
yeah, and obviously then they done their putting their games onto other systems. But to be fair, they didn't really have any need to put it on VR. VR2 is
Well, mate,
dead in the water.
let's look at that
So fair play to them.
from a business point of view.
Yeah.
It makes no sense because they're never going to recoup the money. I can't see how they're ever going to recoup the money from the development team, which must have been how many million, right, to get this done. Even if it was on the cheap, it was at least a couple of mil.
Hmm.
PSVR users that are still in entwined in the system that still own one. I mean, there's probably more PSVR 2s on the shelf of CEX than there is in users' home in the UK right now. So just think about that for a moment. So they've released this game with this multi-million pound, R&D add-on. And let me tell you, the implementation is slick. It's not garbage. It's not nailed on. It's the
Well,
best
like
in
you
the
say,
business.
it seems like the
It's the
killer app.
it's the best in the
Do you think
business.
there's been a bit of funding from Sony here? Do you think they've sort of said,
No,
look,
I think
if we help you?
basically they were looking at maybe wider VR implementation for the PC. Had a look at it, maybe thought maybe a couple of switch flicks and we can be doing this on VR for VR2. Don't forget, they're supporting the implementation of the VR2 headset on the PC because it
Mm,
wasn't that long ago Sony released the little cable, so you could then use it as a concurrent headset on PCs. And from all intents and purposes, we know the headset's probably one of the best in the marketplace, if not the best, because it's got
mm.
the haptic feedback in there and that works. It's got the haptic feedback in the controls. Like when you touch something in the game, with the haptics. You know you're not picking it up, but you feel like you've made contact with it, and that's big difference in the world of VR. Instead
That's
of floating
clever.
around like a ghost, you're still floating around like a ghost, but you just feel like that snag of haptic, so you know you got it.
I can imagine the Microsoft boys getting their first VR2 dev kit, playing around with it, going, "Oh, this is really good." And then you can imagine the Sony boys getting the Microsoft Flight Simulator on the VR2, going, "My God, these guys have smashed it on it."
The way the menus are, it uses AI in probably one of the best ways. So it's using AI to voice all the characters in the game. So when you're talking to the tower, that's AI, but you can't really tell because of the radio.
So can you ask them anything? Will it answer you,
No,
or
no, no,
you have to
not
be?
you press the button to ask, then your co-pilot says the proper command, they reply. But you do kind of ask them as you're coming into land at places, you do. And you
Uh,
are rated in your career mode on whether you made all the right radio calls. So you radio to say, I'm going into a circle. They say, okay, pattern recognized. Then when you're ready to land, you have to tell them I'm coming in. And they say, okay, right, runway. What they don't need to know the runway that you, or they tell you the runway to use, or you tell them the runway you're going to use.
mm.
If you don't tick all these boxes on the way in, you aren't getting a perfect score at the end. And I haven't had a perfect score yet. There's always been something. My landings has been a big issue, but then normally I've like messed up airport etiquette. Like I took off on a grass airstrip. Well done to everyone still listening, by the way. Thank you for this. And I was rattling down it, and I couldn't tell like where the airstrip was. It's a grass field. So I caught a little bit of wind and started to veer over, and it was like minus points. You're not observing the runway. And I was like, well, what the hell do you want me to do? Like, I don't even know where this is.
Goes through someone's garden, washing line.
Well, what I'm saying is it's a field. And apparently within that field was a line I must have stuck to. But how do you know in an unmowed grass field?
Yeah, you think there's some sort of markers, wouldn't you? But
This one didn't. Some of them have little cones. This one didn't. So anyway, I was up in the air, quick flick of the rudder, and then only just made it over the trees. So, some of these runways, like I'm giving it full beans as well, and not coming up aggressive, but just under a stall warning. And I'm looking out thinking, you know, you that's close.
yeah, that was nearly in the conifers then.
Yeah. So I've got lots of good things to say about that. I know I'm probably being an advocate for an experience it's going to cost you the thick end of whatever for a pro, the thick end of whatever for a VR2, and the thick end of whatever for the 70 bucks that this game is. I know this is not what you can call decent consumer advice. It's insanity. But if you want a dose of that, I'd recommend it
Well,
wholeheartedly.
no, I think where this probably lies is people who have either got a Pro or a PS5 and got a PSVR2 and felt a bit burned by it or very burned by it. And what am I going to play on it? You've now given them a good reason to pick that back up and give it a go. So,
Or let me offer you up an alternative user. They've got a PS5. I don't care what version it is, and they've got Flight Sim, and they love it.
hmm.
Get yourself down to CX and get yourself one of those cut price PSVR2 headsets, sharpish, because your experience is about to go from F-19 stealth fighter on the Atari ST to, oh my God, Dad, I think I've got my pilot's license. Now, I know I said God, Dad quite strangely, but for the sake of it, someone edit that round, make it look good in a TikTok. Jesse, I'm looking at you. Make me look sexy. Don't make me seem like a weirdo all the time. It's like, "Rah!" It's all I ever get. Like, "Oh,"
You
on
know,
TikToks.
you're now giving him clickbait here. This is going to be clipped. You just done the noises. That's just going to be you just making noises again this week.
Well, I'm hoping that I leave enough other material around for people to understand that I'm not just. I mean, I am.
We're not
Com-
worried about that material. We just want the
No
clip,
one wants
clip, clip.
that. Ugh.
This week's TikTok, I was crying. I was absolutely
I
crying.
realised on the watch back what I thought was a really perfect Scottish accent of a concerned elderly Scottish grandmother or mother was completely unintelligible. When I listened back to it, all I
That's
heard
why it was
was
so perfect.
there you go, Jesse. Stick that in there. Stick it in yourself, boy.
That's another one. That's clipped. Brilliant. Yeah.
So that's
So,
it. That's all
anything
said and
else?
done. I want to just flick back to farming sim a little bit. I just can't say how much joy that game's given me. I've kind of given
How
up
many
trying to,
hours you put in that?
not as much as you think.
Must be a few hundred, don't you?
Well, across all the different systems, across my concurrent one running on the Switch version that I play every other night, and on the PlayStation version I play every other night. I mean, I've got a lot going on here. I've got two farms. I'm running. I'm a double estate kind of guy.
Mm.
I don't like the Switch estate though. It's in America and it's not my kind of farming. I don't like it. It's doing me head in. I
You
wish
still
there
keep
was.
going back to it though.
Well, we've got nothing else, have I? What's an addict gonna do?
Mm.
What's he gonna do?
Well, yeah.
You got to do something to take this agony away. So I'll play Farming Methadone Simulator. You got to do what you got to do sometimes, RGT.
Very true.
I've been known to draw tractors on pieces of paper and just shuffle them round the floor, making noises. So
I've seen that. I've actually witnessed that. So
there's a man who's probably had a little bit too much farming in his
yeah, I
life.
think so. So if one's on charge or run out of charge, you switch and you're away. Out come the crayons, little international, and bum, 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 bum. George the
Bit
farmer's off.
talking point, talking point, talking point. Do I need another Game Lab console? Because I found myself missing it severely. I had it
I
for a day and a half, and then my son took it on a Pokemon binge, and I haven't. It's May, and I haven't seen it since, and it went in December.
I
So
think
help me out here.
don't go for a game lab. Go for a really good quality um, emulator, like a Ambernick or something like a second hand one, maybe from CEX. You can pick them up.
But the weirdest thing is, mate, I could go onto Game Lab, click a button, and it turns up with all the games loaded on it. No stress. If I go into CX, I'm going to buy basically a device that's ripped naked, bare, born
Hmm.
of nothing. It's just a calculator, for want of a better word.
Hmm.
And then I've got now, you know me. I'm like a kid at Christmas. I can't wait. I can't wait. If I buy a new fancy dance piece of technology from CEX, if I can't get in the car and start getting some enjoyment out of it, either from the slot or whatever, I'm gonna be furious.
Yeah, but then that's when you just need to have a little DM with Bada Binkster and say, do us a favour, load us up a load of games on a SIM card. Obviously, ones that I already own.
That's 24 hours away. I click Game Lab. No, I click the one on Amazon. Turns up to Moz.
To
That's what
Moz,
that's what the cool kids are calling tomorrow.
the old G Dog want to Moz.
OG said to me, "This is why you're not getting the downloads on YouTube. You're not speaking like the youth." So I'm
Okay.
incorporating a bit of that.
Soz. Totemosh.
All right, Karen, chill out. Like, what is all
Karen.
this?
Karen.
You're racist. That's what all the kids shout at the bus stop these days. You're racist. What the hell? He took your lolly. He's white. So are you. What's happening here?
Yeah.
That's the kids for you. 6'7". 6'7".
Oh, don't. Not that. Oh,
Tate,
gee.
Rogan, Trump, UFOs. Apollo, lights.
You
Yeah.
just hit every algorithm going. Lovely. That's a few more downloads. Thank you very much.
Don't thank me when we've just topped the 6 million download mark, when people come here looking for UFO secrets and they come all
Mm.
the way to the end of the show and realise there weren't any. But I suppose if they got here, they probably would stop listening, but they think that's a trap. I
Mm.
posed to you the other week, right? I said to you when you're outbound, would you take this, in your tent playing it? And you said, yeah, I would. I put it to you on the close of Flashback the other day. Can you believe that there might be someone, a pilot, playing on Portal on autopilot in a plane on autopilot?
That's a weird world, isn't it? That's almost Twilight Zone
That's
stuff,
playing
that.
Inception, that is.
Mm.
Now,
Mm.
did him and his mate, because they've got Wi-Fi on these planes, so he's got his portal out. He's like, all right, you take off as I take off from this airport at this time with that weather. You fly on that, and I'll fly on this. Great idea, Craig. Of course we will. Don't know why he's called Craig. Well, he's like high end either. Um, but he is.
Mm. I mean, he might just be Craig. He works for EasyJet and is going to Magaluf, but you know, it doesn't
Well,
have to be
yeah. Craig, what's his co-pilot's name?
Kevin.
Shane.
Shane. Nice. Mm.
Craig and Shane, co-pilot, pilot. Why?
The
Why
thing
is this
is, though,
duo triggered me?
that they could get muddled up. So it's like, oh, the warning lights now. And, that's all right. Don't worry. We'll just lose a few points. No, in your plane. Oh, God, sorry. Didn't realise. You could get muddled up
Oh,
there.
yeah. Maybe you play it on mute. Put the plane on mute so you can enjoy the game.
Yeah, might be
Stall,
best.
stall, stall, stall.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not the game.
Too low, pull up, too low. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's time for the news to scour the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, I'm going to go first because I'm in charge and I just do what the hell I want, apparently.
You do.
Um, well, so you say. I've had Sammy Barker's lawyer on the phone. I don't give a rat's ass, Sammy. See you in court. Because over at Push Square, Sammy Barker, the outrageous bannerman of Push Square, has decided to indulge himself in medieval cosplay. You'll find him this week on the outskirts of Swindon, reenacting the Battle of Agincourt. He's a specialist longbowman and has managed to develop, whittle, and refine a medieval longbow with such historic accuracy that the Armoury of Leeds can find it indistinguishable from the longbow they have in their museum.
Mm.
He will be attending there with 40 rubber tipped English longbow arrows. Obviously, they can't use real arrows. And he's looking at raining down hell on Kevin and the aforementioned pilot that's not on the plane,
Shane.
and Shane and Craig will be there dressed as French knights on their steeds, which they've acquired through their no doubt unenviable pay from EasyJet. So I wish you well, Sammy Barker. Go stick the French all over again and show them the two V's of victory that only a true English bowman can. So, obviously, with his weekend busy, he wrote this. Is Bungie Sony's worst ever acquisition? Are you Googling whether Sammy Barker is a medieval reenactment guy or
You're going to be surprised. He is.
is it?
No.
Is, oh, is Bungie Sony's worst ever acquisition after 765 million write down? Marathons under the microscope. Get ready, RGT. I want your full scientific forensic analysis of this.
Mm.
Sony has reported an eye-watering 765 million impairment loss on Bungie, raising the question, is this the platform holder's worst ever acquisition? This includes a 204 million impairment loss late last year, meaning the value of the developer has plummeted since its 3.6 billion purchase in 2022. It's important to understand exactly what's happening here. These aren't necessarily cash losses for the company, but a devaluing asset. The Japanese giant is effectively writing down the value of the purchase because it's fallen short of expectations and its performance isn't expected to improve in the short term. The latest impairment loss is particularly pertinent because it comes after the release of Marathon, which appears to have performed below expectations. While the platform holder hasn't announced any specific sales data, we know from sources like SteamDB that the game hasn't exactly set the world on light. Meanwhile, it was completely missing from April PS Store's sales chart following its release in March. So, did Sony overpay for Bungie? These impairment losses appear to signal one very simple fact. Sony dramatically overpaid for Bungie. Wedbush Security's Michael Pachter. Hang on a minute.
Mm. Oh, Michael. Hang on. Now, if you've listened to last week's flashback, you'll probably recognise that name. That's just dawned on us. Yes, this was the
Sorry
slightly.
to expose me in red light, but flashback notes, he's there. Michael Pachter. Oh my God. In fact, he's there because Sting and Ray got out. What Ray and no, I didn't even know the characters to my show anymore. A couple of guys get out of a car at the end of flashback. Call them what you like, probably Kevin and Craig at this point. And I had them looking like Jordan and Michael or whatever.
Yeah, Michael was the guy who was
Worked for
very annoyed.
Wedbush.
Yeah, and weren't he the guy who was annoyed that the EA Take Two sale, and he said that Take-Two will never get a better offer than what EA was offering them, and blah blah blah. And
Well,
yeah, he might have misjudged the future of Take-Two
well, with
somewhat.
that in mind,
Yeah.
listen in. Wedbush Securities' Michael Pachter, a divisive but well-known industry observer, said as much when the purchase was announced. He described the acquisition as desperation and a response to Microsoft's unprecedented near 70 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, which was taking place roughly around the same time. He said, just to compare and contrast, EA bought Respawn about 3 or 4 years ago for 700 million with 400 developers, and those guys generate 700 million a year in revenue. Bungie does about 200 million in revenue, so I think Sony vastly overpaid. Part of Bungie's value for Sony was not just its games, but also its live service expertise. However, the dev has struggled to cling on to players as Destiny 2 has shed many of its daily active users since concluding its story with the final shape in 2024. What did you expect? Meanwhile, Marathon is now struggling to surpass 15,000 concurrency on Steam just a month after launch. And while we don't have any specific console numbers, we know the game likely sold best on PC and is attracting most players there. Live service woes. Furthermore, even with Bungie's apparent expertise under its umbrella, Sony's live service strategy is blown up in its face. Concord was shut down within weeks of release after it failed to retain anywhere near enough players to be viable. Firewalk, its developer and other candidate, the worst PlayStation acquisition ever, was unceremoniously closed down as it failed to settle on a rescue plan. Multiple projects have been shuttered as a consequence, including God of War live service game from remake dev Bluepoint, which also concluded in that dev being shuttered, and remaining projects like Fair Games and Horizon's Hunter Gathering face an uphill battle against negative player perception. The former has been roasted in various closed beta tests, while the latter has constantly attracted criticism for its art style and deviation away from the mainline games. In fact, the only live service game PlayStation fans showed any excitement for was The Last of Us Factions, and was apparently axed after feedback from Bungie. While the Washington studio simply advised Naughty Dog it required a lot of resources to maintain, many people blame the studio for its cancellation, especially when it was apparently close to completion by all counts, an outstanding experience. And rumour has it, RGT, there is some fan petition stuff going on to get that released. If it was allegedly finished, as it was, then give it to us.
Mm.
It's going to take years to turn around. The big problem for Bungie right now is hard to see where the next win will come from. Those who have played Marathon do seem to enjoy it, but its hardcore extraction shooter format means it's always going to be difficult for a game to reach a large audience. Meanwhile, Destiny 2 is on a downward trajectory, and not even a Star Wars themed expansion could turn its fortunes around. The studio's in early stages of making Destiny 3, but considering modern dev cycle, that's going to be at least 5 or 6 years away, so likely somewhere in the 2030s at this point. Sony has yanked incubated studio Team LFG out of Bungie umbrella, and while its Project Gummy Bears should still release as a first-party game, it means the team's now operating independently of Bungie. Given the amount of money spent, the company's ambitions for it, and the impairment loss recorded so far, it's hard to argue Bungie is Sony's worst acquisition. Other candidates like Firewalker up there and Haven may make the list, but depending on what happens with Fair Games, the overall spend on these studios is nothing compared to the billions invested in Bungie. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bungie moving forwards, because while we don't necessarily think the studio's in danger, it's clear big changes are going to be needed. And with an estimated 850 employees in one of the most expensive areas of the United States, it's difficult to see how Sony is going to justify the studio's expanse in its current state. And sadly, that likely means impending job losses and redundancies. What do you think, RGT? We've talked about this before on the show, namely when the acquisition happened, but we've not really gone back there, bar probably the odd barbed comment from me thrown at the whale carcass that is Bungie. Excuse those that want to see my face, God knows why, but the mic was in the way. The listener, dear listener, look at a pebble, imagine my ear on there. I love you, and I still want you to talk to me. Think of me in that way. Yeah. Yeah, RGT. I don't know how you come back from me being on a pebble 2 weeks in a row, but do so, my good friend, and tell me what's going on here.
Think it's just proof that when you someone reacts to another company's purchasing doesn't always work. It's what's known as a panic buy. Um, Bungie's definitely a company that was on the down and still is. Um, one of my customers at work was a die-hard Destiny fan and played it thousands and thousands of hours on Destiny, and that has even been deleted off his console now because they haven't treated the hardcore fans, very well, and broken promises and things that were coming and costs, and they lost a lot. Destiny's probably a shell of us for myself. And then obviously, like you say in the article, the um, them stepping in and saying The Last of Us online was, give that a chop. Don't understand why. It's a totally different game to what they normally make as a live service. So,
Going back to the article, the reason they said to chop it was the amount of expense it would take to maintain the servers was going to be a lot. So we don't know quite what they had in mind.
but you say that, but that was in, especially with that first season of The Last of Us, it was in full hype as well.
Oh, it
So
was, mate. If
it
that had
was
dropped, that would have been massive because that would have been
exactly.
like a. It would
It would
almost
have.
have been a single player Last of Us
I think
universe.
they've really, really dropped the bomb with that because that would have attracted so many people to PlayStation who were just Last of Us fans who were only casual gamers who probably didn't even own a PS5 but would have been, oh, I need to play that. These big fan, and there is a big fan base for the Last of Us TV show. They could, I think they've really dropped the bomb with that. But yes, with old Mickey there, I think I have to agree with him. Definite overpayment. I think most of these companies that have been bought have been overpaid. It was
Oh yeah, big
it
time.
was this mad, almost like gold rush where they had to buy the studios up, and that was who could get them first. And
Well, if you think about it, this all started when Tencent started chucking their money around.
yes, and it was the Embracer Group as well, but
Yeah. And it
they've
was
just
all a race for the bottom because all of a sudden they realized that the video game market kind of happened to the mid flow. All of a
mm,
sudden, everything was up for sale.
yeah,
And you needed to grab some of these bits in the air because when everything touches down, whatever wasn't touched was owned by somebody else. And if you're looking to survive, and it was only a couple of weeks ago reported that Sony is moving back from televisions, moving back from this, moving back for that, focusing solely on becoming an entertainment company.
mm,
If you don't have entertainment within your portfolio, you're dead.
mm. Yeah, and the mad thing is that was just that, like I say, it was a gold rush era where they all had
It
to
was a
buy,
gold rush,
and
mate. That's
and and
exactly what it was.
and they jumped on with Bungie. Now, at the time, you probably thought, yes, not a bad buy for that money. It's Are they going to recoup that? I mean, for what they've done so far,
Not even
no,
close.
not even
Well,
close.
that's what these impairment losses are, dude. This is them trying to recover through an
Mm,
accounting write-off mechanism the money that they've lost.
yeah,
This is normally reserved for games that have bombed that never make it out. This impairment loss has never been attached like this to a whole developer before.
and this is from a company that's absolutely smashing this gen in sales wise. The platform to play on, making the most bucks, and you think they still had to write this off as a loss. That's how bad this acquisition has been.
Yeah, it dented their quarter four, but their full year figures were good.
Mm, mm. Yeah, so
So they were able to absorb these 200 million pound hiccups here and there, but that 306 billion is still up there. They're obviously taking the opportunity to take quarter billion chunks out of it as they can, but it's not looking easy. And we're not
no,
talking Mickey Mouse money, we're talking 200 million quid.
yeah, this
You could
is.
solve homelessness with that.
Mm. And you think this is when you sometimes look at Nintendo, and yes, there's a lot that Nintendo do wrong, but there's a lot they do right. They
Yeah.
don't get involved in any of this shenanigans. They didn't, they just as they are, as and they just do their own thing. And sometimes you think maybe you should do that. PlayStation, we've said this 100 times before, but they jump on this live service bandwagon. They shouldn't have done that. Stick at what you're good at.
Hmm.
Stick at what you were good at, and it's made a big hole and a big gulf in this gen for PlayStation, and it's an odd one. Hopefully they've learnt their lesson from that. You know, th- they bought a couple of studios. It hasn't gone really well. Microsoft bought quite a few studios. Some of them are shut. Some of them are big bucks. Activision springs to mind, which hasn't really seemed to have paid off at all yet, especially with Call of Duty. So at the end of it, no one's really won. All that's
But
happened
think
is
of the
everything's getting
developers
more
that
expensive.
Sony's. Yeah, I was just going to say, think of the developers that Sony's bought for like millions here and there, ones and twos, tens, twelves, that they've brought on board and that just fall through the cracks.
Mm.
It's embarrassing in a way. Some of these games that have been lost to time from developers that were attached to Sony that now are just shuttered or gone.
Mm.
Like, Bungie better watch itself because the only thing keeping it in play right now is the amount of money that it costs to get them in the first
Yeah,
place.
yeah, they're being held there by their own value. If they were bought for
Literally,
anything less, they would have been gone. Um,
they would have. A marathon would have been iced.
and you see that with like when Microsoft are buying smaller studios like Tango. Tango had a massive hit, but you only need a short period of time where you're not making money and you're gone.
Hmm.
You're gone because it is a small amount of money to a company like that. So
Yeah.
you are gone, and that's why I love to see. I was talking about this with a guy at work the other day. He plays a lot of indie games, and we were talking about. He was saying that one of the benefits, and Captain was saying this as well. One of the benefits of the greed of the big companies, the Sonys, the Xboxes, of buying these studios up, killing the studios with effect, is freeing up all these developers to start their own little studios, and we're now getting this big swathe of indie games. And he said that
Hmm.
is one good thing to come out of it because they know how to make good games and not just AAA games. And they know how to make a good game, a good finish on a game. But look at Secret Mode, for instance. They came out of the Sony studios, set their
They
own up.
did, yeah.
You
And that's
know,
one of the
and
reasons why I wanted to champion them, mate,
yeah,
because they did nothing wrong.
yeah, and both their games have come out perfect. No
Yeah.
glitches, no bugs, no patches. Bang, the game's out. Brilliant little games. So, as a gamer, that's where we've got to look and think we have gained from because overall, these companies buying up, paying astronomical amounts for these studios and then trying to recoup. When they need to recoup the money, that's only going to come from one place, and that's our pockets, unfortunately. So,
You bail them out £1 at a time. RGT, get your
yes,
nose in the news bag, my old friend. What are you going to drag out for our listeners and viewers
I'm gonna have
delectation?
a I'm gonna have a route round in here, and this is from Push Square.
Oh,
This is from Stephen Tileby.
what's what's a tail BB been? What's
Oh,
happened to me?
he's been busy this week. He has been a busy boy this week. He's taken up the dying sport of pigeon racing. He just said that this isn't getting enough clout in Europe at the moment. So he's taken it up. He's worked his way up the ranks. The only problem is he entered the European Championships and they launched from south of France, and his number one bird is lost. Fast Frank. Fast Frank's
Oh.
gone missing over Bordeaux. So
Do you know what I've heard about this?
what?
Illegal raft riders to grab them out of the sky.
No.
Yeah, because they're
Poor
coming low.
Frank.
Yeah, they fly low. The waves, the pigeons. It's how they navigate. They don't go up
Yeah.
high. When they cross water, they come low, and
Yeah.
it's within his arm's reach of these dinghy riders, and they just grab them out of the air and eat them raw.
No, poor Frank.
Frank's
Frank, that was
Frank's
his
done.
that was his senior year as well.
That was
That was
his big
his
moment.
Yeah, that was his last race. He was one of the quickest in the
I hope
UK.
it's a mistake. I hope he turns up.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, he's been lost before,
It's
Frank, but
crazy out there, mate.
yeah, well, they
It's like
found him.
Mad Max beyond
Yeah,
Thunderdome, from what
he's
I understand.
he's been he's been lost before, poor Frank, and they found him just safe at Doncaster. So he was just doing
Yeah,
a service station.
he's
So
over friendly territory there. But the North
yeah,
Sea, mate, it's a hotbed. There's like people
mm.
running around on jet skis. It's like Waterworld.
Yeah. I mean, Stephen did mention that to me. He just said the underground pigeon racing scene is lethal.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
So maybe the dinghy riders, maybe those Waterworld people that inhabit the North Sea these days,
mm,
maybe they've literally caught him to operate him as a ringer in the illegal pigeon racing scene. Because
mm.
I know that's a big thing in there. Because they
This
took
is.
over a couple of disused oil
Do you know what
rigs.
I said to Stephen? I said this is like Shergar all over again.
It is. He was a good gorilla.
Mm,
What's
yeah.
this news?
Anyway, Stephen B says PlayStation's lofty preservation efforts not stopping anytime soon. Um, he goes on to say, we've known for a good while now that Sony has established a team within PlayStation that's specifically concerned with preservation, spearheaded by Garrett Fredley, senior build engineer IP preservation. The team's work is predominantly about archiving PlayStation's historical games and related materials. The idea is doing so allows for much easier access to source code, documentation, assets, or whatever might be needed, and even lays some of the groundwork for potential re-releases. Fans were reminded of this work today when Fredley shared the post below. PlayStation's preservation journey is on its way, and we're not looking to stop anytime soon. Being able to share our vision, work, hopes, and dreams with Sony leadership was a special moment for our team, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. Uh, PlayStation's preservation journey is on its. Oh, yeah, I just read that bit. They've just repeated it. Thank you. With a preservation all about preserving Sony's wealth of video game IPs, it seems the company's higher ups have been briefed on the work his team is doing. It's not anything we didn't already know, but it's at least encouraging to know that these preservation efforts haven't fallen by the wayside. Fans will no doubt be excited to see several legacy franchises on the slide in the above image. It features Sly Cooper, Ape Escape, Wipeout, and Killzone, and more. This isn't some sort of promise, and these series will be returning. Some sort of promise that these series will be returning, but the hope is the hard work being put into archiving the organizing of historical materials may make those comebacks that bit easier. Fredley previously shared he and his team had successfully stored more than half a petabyte of data. That is a lot by the sounds of that.
That is a
And
lot.
and that figure will, of course, be much higher by now. A petabyte is 1,000 terabytes, by the way. My God.
Exactly.
Good God. Anyway, it's good to hear this work continues in the background. It'll probably lead to some fun re releases in the future. We can cross our fingers at least.
I don't think all those petabytes, by the way, are all just game stuff. Don't forget the preservation efforts is going to relate to full scans and media
Artworks, yeah.
artwork, all of
Yeah.
it that went high res into magazines, into massive 40-foot posters. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of probably some of the early PlayStation games are probably tiny compared to
Mm,
some of these, like Jumping Jack. It's code preservation next to a Last of Us bus poster,
yeah.
4,000 meg or something.
Yeah.
2 meg,
Yeah.
4,000 terabytes. I don't know. There's a lot going on there. I'm kind of happy about it that they are doing
I'm
this,
very happy. Yeah.
but why weren't they doing it sooner? Because
I.
I know for a fact, and they will admit that a lot of things have just gone.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, can you
Some of their
remember?
remake efforts have been hampered by the fact that they've had to remake the whole freaking game because they've lost it.
And also, I think, can you remember we spoke about this a few years ago on the show with Xbox and doing the backwards compatibility and their efforts as well. And then there was obviously the stat that come out that less than 1% of gamers were using the backwards compatibility. And I think PlayStation will look at this thinking, what's the point? No one's playing the old games, blah, blah, blah. But they've missed the point is that people might not be playing them, but you still need to preserve your history because once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, I see
It's
this. This is a very much internal team. They're not talking to us at all. We get little glimpses that they've talked to the team and they're okay and cool with them preserving some
mm,
games. It's very secret in a way. I mean, you look at the logo and I endorse everyone to go on to probably onto Push Square and have a look at the preservation article because within that is the logo that the PlayStation preservation team has attached to themselves. It's freaking well cool.
mm,
I noticed Kratos is in there. I wasn't
yeah.
quite sure at first until I zoomed in. It was him, just Jumping Flash, Ape on the right hand side, and a few other of the classics. I think Sly Cooper's in there. So it's nice to see that they've clocked that we know. I think there's a Wipeout Quasar phaser ship on the in the logo as well, so that they've seen
And
and
also,
recognised all the good bits.
yeah, and this is also this is good publicity for them because you've got to remember their demographic now is a lot of those gamers that had an original PlayStation are
Hmm.
now our age. They're in the mid 40s. with a PS5, and they want to know that this stuff is being saved now. Do you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
so much, this isn't aimed at the younger Fortnite or Minecraft crowd. This is the people that are still playing and have been playing with PlayStation for 25, 30 years. And they've now realised, and there's a big part of their audience that would
Well, I put
see
it to
this
you,
as a
mate,
good
that those
move.
people that you've mentioned are probably really paying for everything that they're doing right now.
Yeah,
They're the
exactly.
ones with disposable income that are buying the stupid consoles. They're the ones with disposable income that will buy these games when they come out at launch for 70,
Exactly.
80 bucks. You know, and
Yeah.
I feel like that user has been long forgotten
Mm.
in all the studios' minds. Maybe not Nintendo as much, but they don't really cater for anything beyond what they want to do. But PlayStation and Xbox, I think they could start to recognize the people that have been paying in to this experiment
Mm.
since the day they started. Like they've had a lot of money off people, me and you, both of them
Yeah,
have.
exactly. And like I say, this is good publicity because we look at this and we've both said, "Oh, this is brilliant." You know, it gives you a good feeling about the brand and about Sony. And yes, they are preserving, and it's a good little. They've ticked a little box there. It's almost like they're Asher Sharma. They're doing a little bit of a good news story to say,
It
yes,
does feel like that.
yeah,
Yeah, I have to admit, they've again this week she's talking about going over like with a fine tooth comb everything that they're doing to make it right. And again, got to endorse it, but we can't do another story on Ashish Sharma cleaning up the Xbox office, can we? I mean, what next week? Ashish Sharma found some antibacterial wipes down the back of old matey's filing cabinet. So she's posted a picture on Twitter of her like cleaned office or some drivel, and she's got a little Master Chief Funko Pop on the window, like cheese. Asher, come on. Um, you know, well done, but no. And PlayStation, they want a slice of that, didn't they? What can we say that we're doing that's good for gamers that's free? Oh yeah, do a show and tell. Do a show and tell.
Mm.
Tell them, show them your PowerPoint. Don't show them all of it. Just show them the front picture. Yeah, they'll love it. They'll
The
lap it
thing,
up.
the thing is
That
sometimes,
UCP will do an episode about it.
yeah, yeah, and about pigeon racing.
Yeah.
But as well, it's funny with these companies because sometimes they do a lot of good work behind the scenes and they don't tell us. They
No,
don't let us know it, and you just think, hang on, you think you know what we want to hear, but actually we probably want to hear more of this sort of stuff. So
100%.
yeah, good news. So well done, keep doing it, and it's going to be interesting to see how big this project gets with them. But I think they've probably got a long way ahead of them with preservation of games. Um, well, of anything really, IP's the lot, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go.
Hmm. Do you want some more news?
Oh God, yes.
Switch news. Ollie Reynolds. Ollie Reynolds has been in
Oh,
Amsterdam on the red light district.
oh, not again.
It's not as seedy as you think. He's writing a book about the
Oh, okay.
history
Phew.
of Amsterdam's red light district and its association with prostitution. Or from what I understand, it's a very highbrow book, so I'm looking forward to getting hold of it. Well done, Ollie. A real journalistic feather in your cap, young sir. In the meantime, he's writing some drivel over at Nintendo Life. He's
Need to pay the bills.
got to pay the bills. He's got to sell himself out somewhere. And he sold himself out with this weighty tome. Switch lifetime sales inch toward PS2, but price hikes may hurt its chances. The Switch is an absolute juggernaut, taking pride of place as Nintendo's best-selling console of all time. Yet with the company only shifting 3.8 million its latest fiscal year and prices on the rise, does it have any hope of surpassing the mighty PS2? Current figures show that the Switch is sitting at a running total of 155.92 million consoles sold as of the 31st of March 2026. This puts it above the DS at 154.02 million and yet below the PS2 at 160 million. Naturally, there's plenty of time for Nintendo to shift a further 5 to 6 million consoles to dethrone the PS2, but price increases across the board are adding some doubt. Last year, the Switch family of consoles saw a price increase in the US, with the OLED model adding $50 onto its MSRP. Similar price hikes have now been announced for Japan and are due to take effect later this month. Obviously, we've also got the Switch 2 getting a hell of a big price increase as well. We're also used to consoles going down in price over time that this is frankly unprecedented. So much so that it severely hurts Nintendo's chances of the Switch becoming the biggest, highest selling console of all time. Only 3.8 million was shifted in the last year, so with further price hikes announced, it's practically guaranteed the number will fall further. Indeed, Nintendo itself is forecasting Switch console sales of just 2 million during the next fiscal year, which could put lifetime sales around 157, 158 million. Really, it depends on just how long Nintendo is willing to keep selling the Switch. If it sticks around for another few years, there's every chance that it could reach that lofty 160 million goal. Fingers crossed, says Ollie. RGT, what do you make of all that? I mean, the PS2, it's a it's a big beast, and it's been up the top of the charts for nigh on 20 years at this point. Will anything dethrone it? We thought the Switch could, but it's running out of air quick.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's still a massive user base with the Switch. When you sold that many consoles, I mean, you remember the PS2. I mean, the last game released for the PS2 in Europe, at least, was Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, because there was still such a big user base for that console. And I think this is the same. Will it pass PS2? I think it will, because I think Nintendo will keep this go until the Switch 2 gets big enough to stand on its own 2 feet without having to release
I
Switch
was thinking
games.
this becomes, although the pricing has kind of made it difficult to pick now, but you're almost might as well. There's a Switch and a Switch Pro almost now.
Yeah, and also
And if you're
everything.
a mum and dad, might as well get the one that doesn't matter if Johnny flushes it down the toilet. I'm not being funny. You might as well get the Switch one.
Except this
Johnny
was,
won't know.
yeah, this was the point I was going to make because everything's gone up. So you're not
Yeah,
going to say, "Oh, I'm not getting a Switch 2. I'll get a PS5 instead." Sorry, that's gone up $100 as well. So, but if you're on a bit more of a budget, say you're a casual gamer in your 30s and you fancy something to take on holiday, you go, "Oh, I'm not going to get a Switch 2. That's a bit out of my price range. I'll grab the OLED. I'll grab a Switch Lite. That'll be ideal."
Switch Lite would be the one for holiday, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's. I still think there's legs in it. I still think they'll keep this running for a few more years until they get that
Well, I
Switch
think
2
they're still
number up.
selling all three of the Switch models as
Yeah,
well, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
OG, the Lite, and the OLED.
yeah.
They're all being sold concurrently in the store right
Mm,
now, brand new, sealed in box. So
mm,
depends, as we've talked about on Flashback, it depends where Nintendo count the numbers.
mm. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Depends where these numbers are being counted from. If they're counted from retail sales, fine. If they're counted from numbers shipped to retailers, Ninty, just build 5 million and ship them to retailers today. Do it.
Yeah,
You know you're going to get them gone. Just get it done.
but I think if anything is going to take the PS2, it's going to be that. It's close enough, and I think it will. I know, I know companies say they're not interested in this sort of competition of the biggest sales, but yes, they are. Nintendo would love to be the biggest selling, Switch being the biggest selling console of all time. It was
Especially
their
with it
big,
being they're only just their last console as well. To drag that
yeah,
all the way up to the number one of all time,
yeah.
you count them out in your danger, mate. That's what I say about Ninty.
And and the thing is as well, it came off the back of the Wii U, which was a complete and utter disaster. Um,
It
and this
provided the software for the Switch, though, didn't it?
It did, but and this was their big comeback. And they've had a lot of criticism over the years for the Switch, the underpowered, the chips they used, blah 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 blah. But it's popular, and it's been popular. It's been a fashionable gaming item to have in your backpack, and they know what we want with the Switch Lite and them gorgeous little colours. I ended up getting the turquoise one, and then for Christmas, Mrs. RGT got me the Zelda gold one, and they know how to sell you stuff. And I hadn't even used the gold one, it's like 200
Send
quid's
that to
worth
me.
of, yeah, whatever. And that's like 200 quid's worth, and you'd bought it because it's nice, you've even got it as a piece on the shelf, and you just think, they know how to sell stuff.
That needs to be played with.
There's only me and my missus in the house, and we've got 4 switches in our house. So that tells you everything. 2 Switch lights, got an OLED and a Switch 2. That tells you everything, doesn't it?
You need a girlfriend.
No, definitely not. But yeah, so it will surpass PS2, I think. So
Interesting. Well,
mm,
with all that said and done, let's look back. RGT. So PlayStation regretting the 750 million purchase of Bungie, and we don't blame them. But while they're clearing out the locker of Bungie, they're also found all their old games, and they decided to preserve those because they found them behind the standee of resistance. And then the third item is the Switch, vastly swelling sales numbers that's even threatening the PlayStation 2. Some interesting news this week, RGT. As
Yes.
we sail out the news into an area, as I throw you, hey, catch a mop, boom. Throw you a sponge, boom. Do some housekeeping.
Well, as we always say every week, if you got any news or anything you want us to talk about or any views on the show, you can contact us at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. You can check out our website, unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com, which is regularly being upgraded, new bits added. We've just recently, Captain has added the new challenge accepted to that, which is looking very good. You've got the hidden gems on there. You've got events we've been at. It's a lovely, lovely little website. We're very proud of this, and he's done great work on that side of things. We've also got our X. We've also got our Instagram. We've also got our Discord, but we don't talk too much about Discord
Don't
because
talk about that. It's the cool place. If you hype it up, they won't come.
if you know, you know. That's all we'll say. Discord. Um,
Plenty of groovy stuff for people to get into, friends to make, blah blah blah. You know the drill. Get in it or get left behind. Everyone else is on it. You're the only one who's not on it. You're looking a
mm,
bit strange now. When you get on there and realise that all these were here, you're like, oh God. The sooner you do it, the less embarrassing it's going to be for you.
mm,
We're not going to make a big deal of it. We're playing it down. But
mm.
get on with it.
But I
We'd
will
love to
also
see you there.
I've also just to mention something on there, which is RGT Back the Past, which is our Generation 7 playthrough. We've had a little chat and decided to give the 50 cent game. That's
The
going to be clipped.
fist.
That's going to be clipped. Thanks, Captain.
You're going to fist 50.
Oh, jeez.
Why wouldn't you use him like a glove puppet? He's nothing to you.
Anyway, we've decided that 50 cent
Anywho.
blood in the sand or blood in the sand is being kicked into the sand. Yeah, it's not great. Everyone said let's move on. So we, as of this coming out, hopefully we've already done our new vote. But if not, then that'll be the next couple of days.
What's in the vote? Bitch.
We don't. That's what I mean. As of this show, we haven't decided which four we're doing in the
Oh,
vote
I
yet.
wanted to
So,
get behind it, hype it up.
yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on the Discord, and you'll see.
I don't
If
know
you
if I
want,
can even get on it anymore. I thought
yeah,
you
I did.
banned me.
I did. We could lift it for a day, just see how good you'll be, and if you get a bad boy again, boof, you're off. Um,
Wow.
well, we can't. We need to keep control of these
The
things.
house that George built changed locks and keys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
You're a past tenant.
Are you going to let this happen? Viewer. Are you going to let this happen? Do you think I'm going to let this happen? Absolutely not. Think I'm going to lay down, get steamrolling. You got another thing coming.
Um, Hopefully, as well as of listening to this, Gaz Con, who I have kept saying his name wrong, so I do apologise. I have
He's not
apologised.
a Russian gas company. He's not an oligarch under Putin's
No,
control.
definitely not.
He's a gas con man.
Gaz.
So he is a Russian gas con man.
So you're making this terrible. Sorry, Gaz Con.
Sorry, gas. I'm
But
saluting him. What are you doing?
but can you let me finish?
Nearly
Keep interrupting.
in a minute.
So hopefully, as of listening to this, you should have your t-shirt, and Tingle Tuner, you should have your t-shirt as well. Thank you very much indeed.
I'm
Sorry
still
it took so
saluting.
long. You carry on. Anything else we need on housekeeping? Anything
No,
else
I
we need to
don't think
cover?
so. Oh,
Done
we do another
X.
show. We do another show called
Oh,
Flashback.
because yeah,
I'm
flashback as
still
well.
saluting in deference to Gazcon.
Yeah, so well done. You keep going. That's going to ache in a minute. Then again,
That's
your
the
arms had plenty
burn
of working out, and so
that's the burn I deserve to feel.
that arm's had a plenty of good enough workout.
You
So
said
that'll
it
be all right.
twice.
I know, and I'm going to keep
Didn't land
saying
the
it again.
second time, did it? Do
That,
it third time.
that arm's had a plenty good enough workout. You'll be
Oh, you're
fine.
absolutely right, RGT. I'll
Yeah,
give myself the
I
five
want
knuckle
you.
shuffle on a
I,
nightly basis.
I want you to hold it there now to the end of the show.
Don't you worry, Sunbeam.
Hmm. Anyway, yeah, flashback. If you're listening to this, you haven't heard of flashback. You probably have, but if you haven't, that's our other
No
show.
one's heard of it.
which is a look back at a random month of a random year in gaming, and we discuss the news stories and games that were out in a similar premise to this. But yes, it's quite interesting having a look back at the past. But
Well, we're
yes, go
cottoning
check
on
that
to
out.
the fact it's the industry's best. The insiders of the industry are loving the show, which is
Mm,
great. But I love the fact that it's your private special place, little boutique place. You've got
mm,
to start telling people about it. We're keeping
yeah.
it audio, keep it nice and, cozy for a while. We don't want to flip the video with a flashback so quick.
What I would like to
I
ask
don't want to see that.
the listeners, if you're listening now, and if you haven't contacted us, maybe you can now on Flashback. Would you like us to have a guest every now and then on Flashback? Let us know.
Oh,
Questions at unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com,
oh,
or you could DM me on Instagram at Rich Graham and Thomas, or, our unofficial controller podcast, DM on there, or
Mumsy,
yeah,
put the kettle on. Get Mike Rouse. Of course, we can get him on again.
or you can contact us through your podcast provider. That you can contact the show on there. Give us a little note. Leave your name on as well, just in case it doesn't do it, and we'll give a read out. But yeah, let us know if you'd like us
Dave
to have a
Perry,
have a, have a
part
guest
two.
on. Yeah, we'll see on that. But yeah, let us know.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, ready for round two, fella. But yes, so
We
yeah, let
defended
us
his
know.
honour today. We fought Dominic Diamond on his behalf because we're loyal bannermen
Mm,
to the to Dave,
yeah,
to the
yeah, we did.
Perrymeister. We did.
Yeah, we did.
I got his aged, balded head in a headlock, Dave, and I power drove him through a table.
Mm,
I said, "How's that? Yeah, you stitched my man up with your Mario 64. You knew what you were doing."
mm.
And now apparently he can't walk.
And I threw an unofficial controller podcast fridge magnet at him.
Where did it hit him?
It didn't have missed, and I accidentally hit John of OLL. So sorry about that, John. But the intent was there to back you
Hmm.
up, Dave. So
I was hoping you'd hit him because obviously there's going to be a lawsuit because he can't walk.
well,
And I
problem
was
is because
hoping to pin that on you because if that fridge magnet had hit him on the C4, C5 with his spinal column, that would have been the perfect excuse. Can we say that it did?
no, I'd rather you didn't. I've got enough lawsuits as it is at the moment, so I don't
So
really
what's
need it.
another one?
Well, yeah, I don't want another one. You're gonna have to take blame for that. You're the one. That's on video evidence of you
I
doing
tell you
the
what, I'll take the blame for
power
it,
slam.
but why don't you represent me in court? Why don't you take the responsibility for it? We could wash it into like a UCP.
Why
We
have I
could,
got to do this?
well, you're officially the director of the UCP because it absolves me of any guilt for all the flandering that I'm doing.
I do notice that there's a lot of stuff that involves the UCP that sort of gets gently pushed over onto me. To then when you sort of turn around one day and think, I'm sort of doing everything here at the
Mm,
moment.
mm, mm.
And now I've even got to represent you in court, which
I'll be honest
is,
with you. You've pushed me to the edge of what I can tolerate because I bought that boat in Monaco.
yeah.
All you had to do was refinance it in the
Mm.
show's name, and you flat out refused. And now I'm stuck with mooring charges on a yacht in Monaco. And I'll be honest with you, it's getting a little bit, it's getting a bit rich for my blood. I want that sorting ASAP.
Yeah, but you can't, that is not going to be a cause of a major injury, is it? Look, so sorry.
I
It's
don't think you're quite getting this. You're going to have to sell the concept that is
no,
dangerous enough to give someone an injury.
I think you just have to take responsibility for your actions. So,
Mum, get Lionel on the phone. We're taking our GT to court.
Lionel,
Yeah,
Lionel.
he ain't got a chance. We'll take everything he's got. Yeah, get it sorted. Tell Lionel I want it done.
I made me laugh. My last suspension, I was suspended until recording, and then I had to come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so I
Lionel's
don't.
drawn up the decree nisi,
Okay.
so just be careful.
Well, it's been a good journey. So thanks for listening, everyone. And
It's not the end of the show.
no, no, I meant for me. I'll
Well, I don't want you muddying it up like this. 317 doesn't need to be muddied with this. I don't want you doing this on here. Not like that.
no, let's be open.
No, 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 no. Finish your show properly, as you will not get paid.
Uh, again, I'm still owed £4.36 from last week.
For the last 317 episodes.
Anywho, should we do
What's
the
going
PlayStation?
on? Yeah, let's do that. Why do we read this out every week, though? Why would we read this out? What have these people done for us, RGT, and what have they done for themselves?
These people are fantastic people who put their hands in their pockets each month to support our show, to help us do two shows, to help us, you know, put on all the things we do, events and bits and pieces and giveaways and stuff. And as a reward for that, for their level tiers, they get little bonuses, which also, I know we have said we have done away with the Zoom meeting. There will be some, you might have already known as this show is out, but we are obviously doing something a little different, which is coming to the fore very soon. So your new perk will be added and one taken off hopefully next week. So keep your ears to the ground for that.
Are we telling them
Um,
what it is or not yet?
no, I want to speak to them first individually, and then we will put it on the show next week.
Individually.
Well, in their group, in our subs group. So we have our little chat room on there. We'll have a discussion with them and going forward because we need to discuss how it's going to be done. But yes, we will let them know about that. But yes, and they are supporters of our show, and we are in great honour of these people because they are wonderful to put their hands in their pockets to support us, and it really, really does make a massive difference to the show, and has enabled us to do a lot more things. So we thank them as one of their perks is by reading them out on the show.
Damn
Um,
right. RGT.
and I'll tell you what, I will start this week, and I will
Okay, me old
because
fruit bat.
I need to recoup myself from my little.
Hang on a minute. The tea fairy has been. Wait.
Now where you going? Oh well, I'm soloing here, so we will start off with Gaz Con, and I said con this time, not con. He returns. If you're on audio, you have no idea what's just gone on
If
then.
you're on
But
audio, I got a text from a good lady wife, Rachel, which you audio listeners know because you've been with me since episode one. One of you has at least, and I bloody love you for it. You're silent and you're violent, but you're awesome. What I did is I got a text. I went to the door recording studio. I opened it. I picked up a hot beverage, hot cup of tea
oh,
in a black
Ferrari
Ferrari
mug.
mug with a silver prancing horse on it. Tail up, so you know it's genuine. I do believe this one actually came from Modena itself or wherever it is.
You are one spoilt little boy.
I am. And here it
Yeah.
is, a cup of tea in perfection personified because the colour of the beverage is exactly the same colour as He-Man in the cartoon's skin. Therefore, you know it's a perfect cup of tea. An audio listener, you're back up to speed and you've missed nothing. And in some ways, you've had an ASMR almost noisegasm experience off the back of it. So I hope that you we'll cut this out for the viewer. They'll never hear that about the mug, about the tea, about the warm
Well,
beverage.
I think in the TikTok video, the noisegasm is going to appear in that a few times, I think. But
Absolutely
yeah,
no chance. Listen to me slur upon this. You know, I used to ban drinks on the show.
you did. Now you're a bit of a drinks whore.
Wow.
Yeah.
I drink drinks for money. That's a gig I could get into, RGT. So how much am I being paid to drink this drink?
Too much.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Anyway, back to sorry to diverge off things then, but
Well,
yes,
now I have
Gazcon,
my
thank you very
whistle is
much.
wet. My turkey teeth are lubricated. I feel like we can do this listen damn justice. So there is only
Good.
one person that can drink on the UCP, and that's me to wet my tombstones down.
Right,
It's a bit like Death Valley in there.
right. Can we get back to Gazcon? Because I've tried 3 times now.
Oh shit, is the camera on me?
No,
Fine.
not now I'm talking. I keep taking it back off you. Yes. So yes, thank you very much, Gazcon, as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Gascon. I'm that enamored with my hot beverage. Oh, it's good as well. It's like nectar for throat. Um, I'm I'm lost. Here we are. Up next, a man who has woven himself into the DNA of the TikTok. He is the TikTok. He is. He's like Job from Lawnmower Man. He doesn't know where reality starts and stops anymore. He lives in a digital ecosystem, can only express himself through our words reconstructed in soundboards to his beloved.
He's literally hooked up to the show with wires going in him
He is. He
because
looks like the
he
woman.
produces material just like this. Show goes out, 10 minutes later, video, bang, done. Artwork, video, bang, done. You're just like, wow, this guy, he's just there. He's got binary just going through in his eyes.
I RGT. Whoa.
Yeah, that's not going to look good on video. Don't clip that, Captain. Thank you.
Clip it and then
No.
zoom in on the tongue, and then also go Google Doctor
Why'd you
Who
do this to
and
me?
Google the character Sil, S-I-L. He's a small green slug character that makes exactly that noise. What I want you to do is get that footage and then mix between the two. So from him, and I cover my tongue so you couldn't do it to me, and then bring in Sil and from him, right? Yeah.
You're
You
a
don't,
bellend.
you're not doing me dirty, boy. Well,
Right.
no doubt
Well,
you have already.
mm, we'll speak Captain this week. But yes, thank you as always, Captain, for all you do.
Sil, S-I-L.
Next up, we have, as Seb would call him, Retroid, but we would call him,
No, he's rebranded his whole thing. He's Retroid now.
well,
He's an Android man that collects retro.
yes, but we still have to call him Retro Ed because that is what he subscribes as. But also, I saw him and Scott were at the Kong off this weekend, so that looked a great time. Yeah,
Oh
absolutely
no!
brilliant.
Scott's giving it me, oh bloody hell, then boom, he pops up there giving it big licks out Scotty. Yes, boy, I'm on to you.
That
Where
is
could
definitely clip that clip. There we
Why
go.
couldn't I come Berry and watch you Kong off, eh? Eh? What makes a bad Kong off, eh?
Anyway, thanks, Retro Ed, as always. I hope you
Cheers.
had a great
Cheers,
time, mate.
old bean. Up next, the one man George fan club. He needs no intro, yet he gets one every time. It's the wonderful, chiseled, gorgeously collected up, tousled hair looking, sexy son of a gun. It's Carlos, the one man George fan club. And one thing I've got to say to you is that man looks so sharp, he could cut himself out of a Sherman tank with one swift move of his head.
And also, he's just started Last of Us Part 2.
Holy!
You are in for a journey, young
Get in my
man.
DMs out, mate.
Yeah. Oh, you are in for a journey. Fantastic. Yes,
Uh,
thank you, Carlos.
is that your first experience with it, Carlos? Because,
Yes, it is. I think, yes.
well, we've done a couple of episodes on it, which you might have listened to or not, but you can go enjoy now with no spoilers. And I'd love to get into the DMs with you about that,
Mm.
because it's an interesting experience,
Oh,
unrivaled
oh, without a doubt. I, s-
anywhere.
I
It
said
is
to him,
unrivaled.
the best narrative in a game ever has ever been. Absolutely superb. The things that make you do, the
The
lot,
best
superb.
emotional consequences that you will ever
Oh,
consider and think about from a video game. The only thing close,
yeah.
probably Red Dead 2.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll give you
But
that.
even
Definitely.
that didn't have me questioning everything I was doing as much. Absolutely not. You didn't
No.
have me reassessing everything I thought I knew.
Yeah.
You didn't. No. So yeah, looking forward to hearing from you about that.
Beautifully beautiful, that game. Absolutely brilliant.
Wow, RGT, you don't come up with many taglines. No doubt you didn't come up with that, but I'm going to attribute it to you. That's genius.
I did just come up with that, starting to swap. Mm.
Sometimes you surprise even me.
I surprised myself with that.
I
I
was going
even
to
got the
say
words
that, and
out.
then I thought that's probably not a compliment.
Few
Uh,
hazy, a few hazy Janes, I would have been getting that out. I tell you.
your performance level after a few Hazy Janes, in my opinion, is very top level.
I beg to differ on that. Next up, we have the wonderful Firm Returns, who did
What's
have a
he
little.
going to do?
What do you mean?
Because hang on a minute, what's this? This is a dry read through, or is this like a semi-warm read through?
No, we're just doing normal. I hadn't finished yet. You decided to jump in. I was then about to say, if you want to go from tramp to Trump in a week, this is the guy you see. If you want any financial advice, this is the guy you see. Jump on Twitter.
I wanted to hear a more elaborate story about him this week from you.
Yeah, I know, but you're the elaborate story man. I just have
Not
a little chat about
always. I mean, I'm
yeah.
not the guy who came up with a pigeon chaser story, which I have to
I didn't
admit
come up with
was.
it. It's true.
I know it's true, but finding that is significant.
Yeah, but I was talking to him. I
Well,
know
tell
Steve
me a
put on.
true story about Firm Returns then, based on Stephen Telby's pigeon fancying.
All I was going to say was they were sharing pictures of their gaming setups this week, and he had one of his gaming shelf and his vast Switch collection. And again, I'm getting vibes from him of Tingle Tuner. You see the games he picks
Mm.
up and very curated Very, do you know what I mean? It's no just
We've got a
going out and
very
just buying any old
highbrow
shovelware
listener.
gumph.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
he's
don't have any old Mickey Mouse drivel. Everyone that's attached to the show has got like a green room with a very curated collection in it.
yeah. You go
Lots
through
of
his
wood trim. Looks like a
go.
library.
Oh, it is, and you go. He's got the shelf up high, and you can go past the spines, and that's like being in a 18th century library of
Oh.
curated, indies and yeah, really good. Yeah, so that was a pleasure to see that, and I think that's how you game collect properly, not just buying loads of tat. Who would do that? Hey,
And filling a
um,
room with it. No,
yeah,
I don't know who would do that. We all
yeah,
make mistakes along the way. Up next, someone that I'm very happy to be associated with. They make the best wings in New York. It's Trestles, New York.
that was a quick one. I was expecting you to go on longer than that.
No,
Sorry.
no, 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 no.
Um,
They didn't turn up to the live event, so they're on a bit of a sticky wicket as far as I'm concerned. I don't care the distance.
oof, please stay subscribed. Um, next up we have Rose
Ooh,
Space Monk.
they get it, don't you think? They were in season two.
Yeah, well, they were, yeah. Rose Space Monk. I was talking to someone the other day about you and your Dreamcast collection. Can you pop on Discord how many games you have left before you have a full collection? Because I'm thinking that I think you've chipped it down quite a bit now, and you were even considering the other day trading in Conker's Bad Fur Day because they were paying like nearly £200 at CEX for that to then knock off a couple of heavy hitters on the Dreamcast. So,
What does
oh,
he need?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
What does he need?
Let's give.
Get me the name of one of the games he needs and the price.
Here you
Will
go.
you will club together with me?
I love how I was pulled into that. Yeah, let us know, Rose, based on how many you got left and what games you need. Because if
I
it's
might have
close,
it.
yeah, if I've actually got a game down here that you need, I'll give it to you if you want. If it's one you need for your collection, let me know. We'll chip in and help you get that full set. But yeah, that is going to be
You've done the
awesome.
heavy lifting now. Let's help you coast in, boy. Come on.
Yeah, that's it.
You've
Exactly.
earned
Yeah.
this.
So thank you as always, Rose Spaceman.
Up next, it's my
This is
turn.
this is why I started the show because I think.
Ah,
Hmm,
ciao, bada bingster.
hmm. I just close my eyes and just listen to that
Come stai?
falsetto. Oh yeah, go on.
Ah, prego.
Oh,
Bene, bene,
mm,
bene. Stammi bene, bada bingster. Stammi
mm.
bene.
Ah,
Grazie mille.
it's my little gooey zone. That is my little gooey zone. Thank you, Bada Binkster. Next up, we have the man himself, the curated, the wearer of a cravat when he games, a smoking jacket. He sits in a vast library of JRPGs.
That cost him nothing.
Think of Downton Abbey, but a Nintendo version. He's
Hmm.
sitting in the library. He has what's the butler's name? The main
Carson.
guy. Carson. Carson standing there with Fire Emblem 3DS on there. Are you
On a
ready, sir?
tray on a doily.
Yeah. Are you ready for this, sir? Hang on. I have 2 more hours of Octopath Traveler left, Carson. Sorry, sir. I will just be waiting in the wings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, Tingle Tuna. Thank you as always.
Which means I get to kick the back out of this bloke and ride in here like I want to ride him as a Tauntaun myself this week because I feel very Han Solo-ish this week. I feel like a sexy rogue. I don't know why, because
You
minutes
are
before
sexy
recording,
rogue.
I was a complete broken mess of nerves and I don't know, 317 episodes in. But right now, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling,
You should
you know,
do.
might delete later kind of moment.
You're the eye candy of the show.
Jesus Christ, this is what we're hanging on for.
I don't. Yeah, I think you are.
I think the downloads reflect me being the eye candy, to be fair. That's why the
Yeah.
audio does gangbusters. And thank you again to everyone who's doubled down on the audio. And I know I asked you to move over to the video, but you've damn refused. And you've
Mm,
doubled down and entrenched in the audio area. Fine, fine. I
yeah.
love that you're there. You stay there. You didn't need to see our faces anyway. Bloody minging.
Yeah.
Thank you to a man who's not minging in any way. He's practically perfection personified, if I'm being honest with you. And I see you, and I love you, man to man, I tell you. Digital Monkery, thank you for what you do to the show. And I do believe. Let's get quizzical, quizzical. I wanna get quizzical. Let's get
Let's
the
get the
quiz
quiz.
on. Let me hear your gamer talk. Your brain matter talk. Let me hear your gamer talk. Your brain matter talk. Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
Some clips there, and that went on longer than I thought.
And
Um,
that's because he does a quiz in the
he
Discord
he does, and
every day. It's like the
they are
Wordle.
superb quizzes. They are
Get in on
super.
it.
Shall I? I tell you what. If shall I just read a couple of questions out from that quiz, and then we'll show you what the quizzes
Oh,
are about.
God.
No,
Another
because that might draw
moment of
people.
our lack of knowledge, detailed and laid prostate on the show.
No, because then that might get people interested. So that like
Nintendo character wears red suit with blue overalls, begins with an M.
no,
Oh,
it's
Sonic?
hang on, just calm down. On I think there might have been coffee in there, not tea. Um, okay, all right. Random question. In 1995 Discworld point and click game, which member of Monty Python voices Reese Wind the Wizard?
Eric Idle.
Boom.
Got it wrong.
See? No, you're right.
Oh,
So that's what I mean. And then we'll have little random questions. Like another one is name any of the three PAL launched titles for the N64.
HAL launch tiles, Mario
Mm.
64, Shadows of the Empire, maybe Pilot Wings.
You just named all three. So there you go. Absolutely perfect. See, so if you like questions like that, they're a little bit of fun. There's nothing,
I'm
there's
glad
no
I got that right.
there's no leaderboards or anything like that. There's no leaderboards,
Was
nothing
that
like that.
right, or were you being kind to me?
No, you were correct. All three. They were the three launch tiles. Um, so if you like them sort of quizzes where you can just he blanks out the answers, you can just press on them, join in, come and have a look. They're brilliant. They're over on our Discord. He does one
I
a week.
I
He's
like
so
I
clever
use
at
them
these
like
quizzes.
Wordles, mate. I
Yeah,
go and have a little go and a little play. That's how I see it.
yeah,
And
they're
it's
they're
no
brilliant.
score. Just do it yourself.
Yeah, just do it yourself. And if you want to put in what score you got, well, a few of us will put them in each week. I got 6 out of 10 this week. The week before is my best effort. I got 9 out of 10. But other than that, I've been threes and fours. But it doesn't matter. That's all good fun, and we all just see what questions we got stuck on, and it's a
Hey,
good
but
little
guess what?
talking point and good fun.
You got 3 or 4 right, but you've also now got 7 other factoids that you can wheel out on a show.
Exactly. And I tell you, they aren't just your standard questions. He's very clever with his quizzes and
It's
writes them
like,
very well.
let's get quizzical. He's basically Gamer Podcast University. We're helping you. This is like a self-help course now. We're like Cobra Tate, baby. Get in on it. And it costs nothing. This is like the Gamersphere.
You took that
RGT,
down a different route.
I want you 24-hour live streaming, baby.
Uh,
And you can use what's left of the UCP budget to get yourself out to Ibiza because I think you can make some good
have you
content
noticed,
out there.
listeners and viewers? Have you noticed that is doing that again? I want you to do this. I want you to do.
I
I
want to live
expect.
vicariously through you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I can't do this anymore, so you have to.
you do all the work, and I'll take all the credit. That's how we roll. Yeah.
I think you're taking work and credit and glory. You're out there streaming 24/7 on the show's budget in a bid to replicate HS Tiki Toki or something.
I'm not sure I am.
Oh,
Um,
trust me. By the time I've spiked your first drink with 6 Viagra and whatever else I can find on the bar top, pal, probably screen wash, I won't see you for 2 weeks, but I'll have a terabyte SD card full of some of the best content known to man. It's like the Holy Grail.
hmm, dance, monkey, dance.
And I just wait and I just recover it like a black box at the end. You're like, come naked through the door, like, what's happened to you, George? What's happening? And I'm like, you still got the bum bag on. Winner. Put you in bed, tuck you up, wop you down with antibacterial wipes, upload that to the hard drive. Can't upload that, can't upload that, can't upload that, can't upload that. Maybe won't put the screen washing in next time. Is he rested? Get him back out there. Literally. That's how it will be for you.
This is feeling a bit familiar
Yeah.
to sort
We
of how we
we
do the
we
show.
attempted this before, but we did
Hmm.
also wipe your mind.
There's a little bit of a flashback there.
Yeah, I
Hey,
I, I probably shouldn't have mentioned that on air because I think that's one of your reactivation triggers.
oh. Anyway, thank you, Digital Monkery. I don't know how we went down that route, but thank you
Well,
very much.
how are we here? How did we get here?
Oh, I
I
don't
do
know.
not know. I don't know. I'm a
But
little bit
next,
nervous now about how we did get there.
yeah, I'm gonna try and bring it back on track with the Floss 360 man himself,
Oh,
the only,
don't.
the only guy to have pulled off this trick in the whole of the world. Tony Hawk's has nothing on the Floss 360.
He ain't got
Um,
shit.
and as he's listening to this, he's in on a European holiday. So I hope you're having a lovely time. And I
Promoting the
hope,
show abroad?
yes, he
Where is
is.
he promoting the show abroad?
Oh, you put me on the spot now. I think I don't know if it's Corfu or Crete, one of the two he's gone to. But he is he has told me he has taken his skateboard and he is going to do a speedo version of the Floss 360 along the promenade. So if you're out that way on holiday, keep an eye out for a guy with a beard. He will be doing a Floss 360, but he has to do the speedo edition because of laws and stuff. But yes, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully that will go viral and you'll see him in the UCP speedos doing his trick. So thank you, board border, as always. Who we got next?
Up next, going dark, going brown, shuffling through the newly cleared nettles of my front lawn. He's he's decided to infiltrate what can only be called the UCP White House. He's on the front lawn. I'm nervous. I think he's under orders from someone, possibly RGT, possibly OG, but I'm definitely walking around the house and finding a red laser dot on my head every now and then. So it's just a warning. I'm here. Come out and find me. You can't find me.
Yeah, he's out there somewhere, but we just don't know where he is.
So yeah, he's gone rogue. At the moment, he's what's known as a rogue asset. I don't want to have to instruct a kill order on that, but I will if I have to.
This is like the Bourne series in Farmerton.
It literally is. I'm gonna get some
He's Boba
CCT
Bourne.
footage of the local shop, right? And he's gonna like catch a kid's like what's it called? Slushy. And I'm gonna get the footage. Oh my god, it's Boba Bourne. Appears out of nowhere, just saves the goal at the local football pitch for some kids. Oh my god, it's Boba Bourne.
Yeah, and there he goes back into camouflage.
Just disappears like Predator,
Yeah,
and then red
yeah,
dot on my chest.
yeah. Boom. Yeah, Boba Bourne's here. Boba Bourne's here. Anyway, thank you, Boba.
More law. Who's next?
Your red-headed stepson.
Ah, look at him. Me and his mum aren't talking again, so it's not. He's my ex stepson, but I still love him like a real biological child.
Oh, good. Yeah, because he's. If you don't know who Ginger is, he is. This guy's ripped. You know
He
when you
is.
you know when you see like on the viral things, they'll put an egg or they'll put a walnut in their bicep and crush it. You seen that when they do that?
Oh, such a grip.
Just for his little training routine, he does tins of beans. He blasts the beans out of the back. Oof, straight out. Apparently he's going to move up to barrels, oil barrels. One on each gun. Bang! Sprays everywhere. Absolutely brilliant. Cheers, Ginge.
Who used to say, "Ooh, I could crush a grip"? Who used to say that?
Uh very 80s TV, but well, yeah. Questions at
Yeah, let us
unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
use the email for something good for
first correct
once.
answer, free fridge magnet.
Yeah, boom. One you
Oh,
ain't got if
need
you're a
to
regular
shift need to
contributor.
shift these.
No, no, we don't. Up next, a man who literally is a god amongst men. He's got a new podcast coming out where he's going to go through
It is out.
catalogs. It's out.
Mm.
Oh, to stay the crows. I don't look on Instagram for 2 days and it's bloody on my phone. There it is. Okay, fine. Well, subscribe as you should do. It's Harvey Retro's new show. He's a great man and he's got a great idea. He's done something that we should have done and he's made it good. Uh, I think
Which
this
we
should,
wouldn't have done.
which we would not have done. So we think
Could have
this
killed
should
it.
be one of your adverts, RV Retro. In fact, scrap it. We'll do a proper one if you
Yeah.
want us to. In the meantime, thank you for everything you do. We
Yep.
wish you well, and very excited to start checking that out. Up
Mm.
next, Emma Sharp. I don't mind taking her because she does so much for the show. Uh, is she back in the UK this week, RGT?
Yes, she is. Yes. Yeah. So she's back from Miami where she was
Are you kidding me?
I am. I just completely lied. She's
I
been here
thought
all the
she'd gone
time.
for the Grand Prix or something. I was like, oh my God, she's hyping the show in Miami now. This woman's unbelievable. Everything that
Just
she does with all her
watch the
trips
F1 on
abroad.
TV and you just see a woman walk past with a UCP t-shirt on in the background.
Oh, We dream of that viral hit one day.
That will
There's
do
enough
one day.
t-shirts out there for it to happen now.
There is. There's quite a few out in the mainstream. But yes, thank you, Em, as always. Next, we have Greg. He's the guy that we always refer to as nowhere near Berlin. And because he's nowhere near Berlin, because he isn't nowhere near Berlin, it's Greg. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
I heard he was living in Harvey Retro's podcasting shed.
I heard that as well.
In the bottom cupboard,
Mm-hmm.
underneath a couple of turtle figures, you will find his lair.
Mm.
He shrunk himself down to action figure size so he can live like a king amongst all of Harvey Retro's play sets and figures.
Mm. Yeah, I
He's
heard that.
dating Leia now.
Oh, wow. I did
Yeah.
hear that he'd put two USB cables together to form a bed. So, yeah. Mm. Interesting.
He plugged the cable into itself.
He put the two flat ends together.
Bloody hell, at that scale, that's like
Mm.
splitting the atom. That's
Yeah.
Oppenheimer shit.
Oh, yeah, he's small. He is small. If you watch sometimes on Harvey's podcast, you'll just see him run across the mic.
Oh,
There goes little Greg.
what do we do?
Oh, I don't know.
Next, I'm going to take the next two just to reset the balance. So I'm going to thank our wonderful mother. She's mother to both of us, Seb, Bobby, Scotty, and OG.
She's been a busy woman in her life.
Yep, all different fathers, of course. But like the Dudley boys, we get by. So thank you. I also want to take a little moment to genuinely thank the RGT fan club. Wish you the very best. We hope you're well, rested, you're looking after yourselves, and all our love to you.
Next up, we have. He's a silent but violent. He's always there in the background. He's almost like a bit like Boba, but without the red light dot. It is Pete Brocklehurst. He's there. He's everywhere, but you never see him. Thank you, Pete.
Up next, the man I think I'd probably chin and knock clean out for Soren. It's Billy Marmite. Thank you, Billy.
Leaves me then
He will
to.
get that.
Mhm, he will. He will. Leaves me to Zangief, I suppose. So, are we going to do the usual ones where I do a Zangief and you have to guess what it is?
That is the new Zangief de rigueur. Yes, it is. Please deliver it to me now, and I shall assess it and then vomit up my answer.
Okay. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Uh,
Mm, mm. Yeah. Oh, 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 Zangief. Zangief. There we go.
I'll be honest, you got a little wrapped up in the performance, and
I did get carried away and I've got a little
I
hot.
have to admit, I don't think I paid much attention to it for that reason. There didn't seem to be a lot of straining, and then you geefed. I was wondering if you took a magazine of Salubrious Nature to the toilet, and that had coincided with the stretch and evacuation moment that kind of coincided at the same time, and you kind of zangiefed at that time.
Bang on. I had a copy of Crash magazine researching for Flashback. Things got a bit muddled with excitement and your standard things that humans do, and that all sort of went off at the same time. So, yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Kind of bit run of the mill work a day by the time we got to find out what it was
Mm,
after
yeah.
the like what I would say quite intimidating performance.
Mm, yeah, you had sort of a intrigued look followed up by complete shock and disgust. So I knew I'd done a good job.
Yeah, the intrigue was the slow rumble at the beginning, which sort of drew me in.
Just going through the pages, and then suddenly a Sam Coote popped up on one of the adverts on the pages and coincided with what was going on. And yeah, just a double effort, I suppose.
Hmm.
Dear me. End the show.
Oh no, no. Let's dwell in it for a moment, please. Uh, yes, please.
I'm
Let's
back. I'm back.
let's
Sorry.
dwell in it for a minute. Let's sit in it. Let's
Yeah.
just think about that.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Just let that sink in as I just sprayed water all over my recording area. Mm.
Hmm. What are you hoping to play?
Um, Do you know what? I have absolutely no idea. Hopefully, I'll be on a Gen 7 game um, that we choose. Hopefully, it has already been picked as of this show going out.
What do you reckon
Um,
it's going to be though? Like, what? Give me a sniff of what things you might throw in for the delectation of the fans to vote in. Teasers, wetters, pleasers, teasers, cheesers,
I
Jesus.
don't know if I mean our lists. We have everything from our list that me and this is me and Zangief have done. We have
Who?
from
Who, mate? Who?
Zangief. I'm not doing it again. I've already sprayed water everywhere. But we have things from Bayonetta. We have
Ooh.
where the GTA's on there, GTA 4 with the DLCs. We have what else is there?
Good luck getting
Deus
that done
Ex.
in a month, cowboy. Bloody hell.
No, not in one. We've already done GTA 4. We've played through that, but we've got Lost and Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony on there. We've got things like
Ooh.
Portal 2. We've got, yeah, there's a smorgasbord of stuff. Like, say, Deus Ex. There's Heavenly Sword,
You ought to put the Gen 7 Thief on there.
Gen 7 Thief. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I might already be on there. I don't know yet. But yes, so we tick them off as we go on the spreadsheet and we pick four, two each time we play. So hopefully I'll be playing one of those. I think what have I got coming this? I think Outbound will be out, so I'm gonna buy that. System I'll buy it on, I don't quite know yet. I want to play more of that, and I might even purchase Pragmata as well because
I'm
I did
getting
really
that.
enjoy that. Yeah, I enjoyed that. There's
I
something
just don't
about
know.
that.
My problem is I don't know what to get it on.
Mm, yeah, I think I don't know. I think I'll go PS5, but I don't know yet.
Is
So
it
we'll
less on the
see.
5? You said?
I think it's like $40, I think, something like
Right,
that. So
right, fine. That's
so
where it'll happen then, eh?
yeah. So yeah, I think that's probably what I'll be looking at. What about you, George?
I'm locked into a pilot's career on Flight Simulator. So there's going to be plenty more of that. In fact, that's been my go-to for the last solid week since I downloaded it last Friday. Probably going to be a little bit of farming sim. It's my happy place on the weekend,
Mhm.
just to sit, leave my tractors running, and just watch it happen. I love it. I love it.
I
I
really,
sit.
I do think next week you need to let us know how many hours you've put in this because I think I'll be intrigued to find. I reckon you've
Does it
put.
tell you on the app?
No, it doesn't. I think you have to go in screen, I think, or in game and do it. But
Oh,
I'd
okay.
be interested to know. I reckon you've put some hours in there.
I bet it's less than 80 hours.
No way.
I bet it is.
No. I'll get. Oh no, I can't because you're a bit secretive on your PSN. I can't view it, but yeah.
I don't want you rifling through my drawers, boy.
Yes, you do. You always have done.
Ah, no, but I've got to make you earn it. Actually, get you lose interest too fast. You very much like that. Yeah, I think that's probably all I've got in
Yeah.
mind. I did have a little bit. I kind of like been drawn back to The Witcher. I've kind of been sort of totally enthralled by that DLC. I was saving it for a rainy day, so I do feel a little bit naughty that I popped the seal on it.
Mm.
Um, and I got a little bit stuck on it, but then I went back in and I was like, no, you're playing this like someone who hasn't played Witcher for ages. You know what you need to do? Put your oils on your sword, you idiot. Oils,
Mm.
took some potions, bit bap bop, lot easier. Slice and dice a bitch. Got out, went on this really
Wow.
like nice. I think we then went to a tournament which was on PlayStation 5. I didn't do the comparison here. I did this after, which I kicked myself for. It was beautiful. You arrived, you could hear the crowd over the hill. You kind of walk round the corner, and there's all the yellow and red medieval tents, and then it flicks to like an overview and goes into a cinematic of all the people gathered round cheering on these knights fighting these beasts in this thing. And I was like, wow, this looks really, it doesn't look photorealistic, but it's got this look to it that just looks awesome.
Mm. Mm.
Everything's so solid in it, looks really sweet. So I've just been enjoying that. And I keep thinking, oh no, 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 save it, save it, save it, save it, save it. There's a whole Witcher game here that you're pretty much ruining by. It's like Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk, pretty much. And
Mm. Mm.
I keep like just running my fingers through its delicious grey hair, and I'm like, oh. Oh, well, maybe we'll do just one more. And then this Duchess awarded me this winery, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just go up there and look at that. And I was like, no, no, turn this off now. So it got binned and went back into flight simulator. So yeah, I probably need to delete it because the temptation's too strong. Anyway, I think now that little side ramble's done.
Mm,
I think we're all wrapped up, RGT.
yeah, I think we're there.
All right. Well, that's all we have time for this week, listeners and viewers. As always, thank you for your time. I look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again. Until next week, remember happy gaming and remember there's nothing wrong with being given the official controller. It's what you do with it that counts. Nearly fluffed my own outro there, RGT. But
Beautifully recovered.
if you're still listening at this point, I love you like a man should love a woman. And if you're a woman, well, awkward. RGT. Thanks for all you do. We'll see you next week. See you, listeners.
See you later, everyone. Thank you.